Why don't you take off your sweater?
Because I'll tell you why. I wanted to wear the hoodie, my new hoodie. You know, when you buy something new and you just need to wear it,
Yeah.
you're proud of it, proud of the purchase, and it costs a lot of money. All right, welcome back, Andrea. Thank you for coming. We're recording.
Okay. How much money was the sweater?
It wasn't that much. It was like $42.
Okay.
I'm broke, so that means a lot to me.
No,
I'm not like you with your credit card debt.
Yo, chill. Classy.
Uh,
Anyways, hello everyone. Welcome to the Puka Circle.
yes. Can you do me a huge favor, please? Can you pass me that phone and that coffee?
Yes.
Thank you.
Moving the chair kind of like sounded like I farted, but I didn't. Just FYI.
I think you did. It's all right. We can all be honest here.
I
Uh,
laugh. When I fart, I laugh.
were you laughing? We'll look at the tape.
Okay.
If I see a little giggle, that means you farted. Why are you so serious now? Oh, one thing I never fixed. I never picked out the two questions, and we're gonna do this together.
Okay.
So I put it on an Instagram thing, and people voted on it. So we might as well read them out and see what me and you think. You know what? You have as much as power as I do in this episode of choosing the questions for season 3. I should have picked this yesterday, but I thought I did, and now I don't remember. Okay. Let's see. Oh, no Wi-Fi. Don't worry, I can edit some parts. Make it seem like this was a lot faster. So don't worry about that. Let's go. Let's see. Come on, you stupid ass phone. But tell me how your day was with this rain that you didn't know about.
My day was good. I woke up.
Wow, so
Start.
like so deep. So here are the answers. Ready? We'll start with the first one. Okay, this guy voted. What is his question was, what is something you'd do for work if you never had to worry about money? You think that's a good question?
Yeah.
Rate it out of 10.
Like a 6.
6. Okay. Next question. What is your definition of success?
8.
8. Okay. What moment in your life did you realize you actually became an adult? You'll pick one and I'm going to pick one.
Okay.
So
that's an 8 too.
8. Okay. So 8 and 8. What does it mean to have your life together?
8, I guess.
Eh.
I feel like the answers to these questions are so broad. Like,
It's true.
What does it mean to have your life together? I don't know. I don't even know if I have my life together right now.
So you see, that'd be a good question.
Okay.
I think that one's an 8 too.
Okay.
All right. But remember, you just got to pick one. Tell us something you have recently learned that has changed your outlook on life.
Yeah.
You like that one?
That's a 10.
That's a 10. Okay, so is this your choice?
Yeah.
All right, so that'll be the first question. Tell us something you have recently learned that has changed your outlook on life. I'm going to screenshot this because I need to remember this. Which one am I going to choose? I like this question because I feel like you're right. This one gives a broad answer, but everyone's going to have a different perspective. Everyone's going to have a different age and different story to tell with it. So I'm going to go with what moment in your life did you realize you became an adult?
Okay.
Because I feel like that one brings. So we'll start with you with that question.
Oh, we're just going to start straight.
Yeah. Because straight. So that's our first question.
Okay.
At what moment did you realize in your life that you became an adult or felt like an adult? How about that?
Oh my God. I don't even know.
Well, what made you feel like you were actually not a child anymore? What was the first big decision in your life that you felt like, fuck, I'm getting old? I'm throwing you right in there. I'm sorry. You want me to go first?
Yeah, go first.
What the first thing ever that made me realize that I was growing up was ironically when it's not supposed to be funny, but it is. When my dad switched Verizon to Metro PC shit. Back in the day, Metro PC shit was horrible. Now it's better because it's teamed up with T-Mobile, but back in the day, it was trash. I couldn't even talk to the girl that I liked back then because the signal would never, her text messages never got to my phone. So from there on, I got a job, and the rest is history. I just never stopped working since then. I've always had a job since I was, uh, what? How old did we turn our sophomore year? 15 or 16?
I don't know, 15 maybe.
So I was 15 or 16 when
Yeah,
I first got my
because I
job.
had my first job at 14.
Damn,
Not
child
for
labor.
those reasons, but well, I was yeah. I was I had T-Mobile, but you know how they have like the T-Mobile 5?
No.
Well, back then you could only talk to five people, right? And the five people,
Oh, the little bubbles.
yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So the five people were
That's a tough
my
decision.
dad, my mom, my brother, my sister, and the house phone number. So I could not talk to any of my friends
Real texting included in that,
after 9, and calling after 9 it's free. Otherwise, I can't
but
really
only
text.
those people.
Yeah.
Dude, that is a. They made you go through
No,
the
yeah, it
struggle
was
there.
just yeah.
I'm over here complaining about Metro Pizza shit, and you had only 5 people you could talk to. That's crazy.
But I'm not gonna complain now because my dad still pays for my phone bill.
That's a good dad.
Yeah.
Times are tough right now for
No, yeah,
Andrea right now.
yeah, they are.
Okay, so how about you? Do you want to use that same answer? Is that when you felt like you became somewhat of an
So
adult?
wait, you felt like you were an adult because you had to just get your own phone plan?
Oh yeah, maybe I should go a little deeper. So once I got a job, I didn't think that I'd never not work again in my life. I have the only time that I have been unemployed is when I quit my job in sales back in 2018, and I was unemployed for 3 months.
Okay.
Only time ever I've been jobless since that age.
So it seems like a girl motivated you to.
Ironically stupid enough, but also it was a girl that got me to leave that phone. But my dad said, if you want a different phone line, you have to pay for it. I'm not going back to Verizon.
Right.
But ironically, like I said, I realized that because when I did get a job and realized how much labor I had to do to earn that money, I didn't even jump ship to Verizon or AT&T or T-Mobile. I went to fucking Boost Mobile. It's not even like I got better.
How
I
is that
just,
any better?
yeah,
Yeah.
but I had realized like, fuck, like, but I didn't want to quit because I wasn't a quitter. So I'm like, all right, so I'm gonna stick with this job, go to Boost
See
Mobile,
it through.
because I didn't want to say to my dad like, oh, I failed, and realize how tough. I didn't want to own up that,
Right.
like, I didn't want to give him like the expectation that he won. So I never told him that I got into Boost Mobile, but I paid for my own phone. I got my car. I added more expense to my life because of this job. And yeah, that's what made me feel like an adult.
More money, more problems.
That's facts. Biggie Smalls,
Yeah.
R.I.P. Man, rest in peace. How about you?
um, I don't. I like. I still don't know how to answer that question. Speaking out of privilege, because my parents gave me pretty much everything I needed. I think it was maybe once I graduated from college after the my 4 years where I was like, oh fuck, what am I gonna do now with an English major?
Yeah,
And then I'm like, all right, I got to pick something that will, give me some type of career. And that's when I did my master's to become a teacher. And then that's when I was like, all right, this is serious. Like, I have a serious job.
yeah,
I have my own insurance now. And like, I felt very like adult,
gotcha.
you know? And I think life didn't start becoming surreal until I moved to California, where I had to pay, you know, a big amount of rent. I had to actually figure out what I was going to eat for the day, had to pay utilities,
Yeah,
figure all that stuff out.
gotcha. That makes sense. Like I said, everyone has a different answer when it comes to circumstances, and I wouldn't really say privilege because you know I would say more of your parents didn't want you going through what they did.
Right.
Like I'm your first gen? No, right?
No, I was born in Colombia.
You're an immigrant.
I'm an immigrant.
That's it. Podcast end.
I
Now I'm like,
mean,
no, but you know what I mean. Like your parents saw the struggle and found a way out and climbed, and maybe they just didn't want to put more burden to you, so they were like this. And also, you're the girl, right? Like I feel like a lot of the parents make sure their girls have everything. You know what I mean?
yeah, I mean, I still think it's somewhat privileged because I feel like a lot of, you know, children with immigrant parents, they don't get as lucky as I got lucky with my parents and what they gave me.
I don't like the word privilege though.
No.
I don't think you were privileged. I think like you just got handed a good. I was saying this before in my previous episode of season 2, but I was saying you got handed a pretty good hand. Your parents did, and they made the best with it. And you know, you're taking advantage of it, and that's not privilege. Privilege is like, oh, you want a Lamborghini? I got you.
Oh, okay.
Like
Yeah,
you want a
no.
nice end car? I got you.
Yeah, no.
You want to go to an Ivy League school? I got you. You know what I
No,
mean?
yeah, no.
Yeah, I don't think that's privilege. I think they were handed a good set of cards and they took advantage of it and said, "Fuck it, I'm going only upward from this hand."
Right.
You
Okay.
know? Yeah,
Mm.
yeah. Privilege. I don't know. I don't really like that word.
Okay.
All right. The next question. We'll start with you. Tell us something since you chose this one. Tell us something you have recently learned that has changed your outlook on life.
Oh my god. Well, we were actually talking about this in the car, but I the one line that resonates is just that love is a choice. And that's the one that I just keep thinking about over and over again, which is love is a choice. And
But it has to be natural, right? Like in the beginning.
of course,
Yeah, but after that is definitely a choice.
yeah.
I agree with you 100%.
It's like I am with the people I am with now because I love them, you know. You decide to talk to them or not talk to them, that's a choice, but I decide to love. I don't know, does that make sense? Like
No, I get what you're saying. You decide no matter the good wave, the bad waves that come along with that friendships person, you decide to
right,
keep looking for them
right.
always.
And at the end of the day, it's like you're the one that's getting yourself into whatever this is.
Hmm.
Like, um, like for example, like I love you, right? And you're
Damn.
not, and you're treating me awful, but I'm still choosing to love you and stick by your side, and that, right? Or I could choose to love you from afar.
True. By the way, she's not talking about me because I don't treat her horribly.
No.
The way she made it seem like, yo, you're a piece of shit right there. No, no, she's not talking about me. She's giving an example. Hopefully, you guys all understand that.
Well,
Yeah,
like we could just talk about like my ex, right? Like I love him, but I choose to love him from a distance, and that's that. Because choosing to love him was hurtful. Like it
correct.
hurts.
I think I know what you're saying, and I think just to add on to that, love is just like sadness. It's like happiness. It's like caring for something. Just because you feel that emotion doesn't mean it's always leading to a happy ending.
Right.
You know, like I love my dog, right? I loved my first dog, and my first dog died. Doesn't mean I
Oh.
stopped loving, and it's okay. You you didn't know where I was going with it. So he died, and that doesn't mean I stopped loving him. I just can't love him physically anymore. He's gone. But I got another dog. Doesn't mean because I love this second dog, I can't love my first dog.
Right.
Yeah,
Right. And kind of reminds me of I don't know, I forgot what I was gonna say.
you look like you're about to throw some fire.
I
That
know
that
I
that looked like you're about
was.
to throw some
Oh my
fire.
god.
You want to think about it for a second?
Yeah.
All right, so think about it. I'll answer the second part. If you think about it, don't feel bad. Just interrupt
Oh,
me.
this. I got
Okay,
it. Like choosing to love also means potential pain, right? Because when you love someone, it's you're always risking them hurting you. So
facts.
it's you become vulnerable too. So,
You know what's crazy? I know what you're saying, and I feel like it's just like loving yourself, right? Are you always happy with yourself? Are you always happy with your choices?
right.
Like you can't hold judgment to another person without holding judgment to yourself. Like we haven't been like I don't. I'm speaking for myself. I haven't made the best choices in my life, but I still love myself, and I know that this goes into so many fields. Like for me to continue loving myself, I need to take accountability. I need to understand why I made that choice, and that's actually why we're making this episode because this episode is completely about making important choices in your lives, making the wrong ones. It's about breakups, and it's about just mixing those two topics into one because I feel like every choice has an action and every choice has a consequence with it, and that's basically why we're doing this episode. But yes, I agree with you on that aspect, but mine, tell us something you have recently learned. I'm going to repeat this so many times because I said it in the car too. The thing that I have learned most recently that has changed my outlook in life. I'm experiencing right now heartbreak, so many other bullshit that's going on in my life, but this resonates with me. Like I told you guys, this is like my inner therapy session with with these episodes. This kid is so young, so smart. I'm gonna give him a shout out again. Anthony Jacob, little Mike J's brother, has given me the best advice that I have even used till today. I'm using today. In your downfalls, always look to improve mentally, physically, spiritually, because all you're doing is getting better. And even if you don't see it day by day, if you continue to force yourself to go to the gym, read a Bible, or just work on self improvement books, and surround yourself with people that are going to encourage you and wanting you to do better, I promise you that it's going to be easier and easier day by day. So that is the greatest thing that I've taken from. And that kid is younger than me by 2 years, and he's that advice has fucking blown me away, and it's working till today. I'm having my down days. I told her I still come home, I still cry, but sometimes I just fucking I'm too exhausted to cry.
I come home, I still cry.
Yeah, but I still, you know what I mean? Like
You're still kicking it
yeah, yeah.
though.
I still make sure that I beat up my body at the gym,
Right.
beat up my as much as I can because I don't want to go home and do that. I want to go home and
Beat
nap.
up my.
What
You were gonna say beat up my body, beat up my.
mind?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like with so much like you know what I mean? Like try to put so much distractions,
Right.
but good distractions,
Of
like the
course.
podcast, this other stuff that I do, my video games, going outside, walking with my dog, small things so I don't have to think about. Well,
Yep.
but also have room to think. Well, that's what we're going to discuss. You
Yeah.
should think about the bad stuff too, because that's the only way I think that the healing process starts.
Yep.
All right. Want to add anything to that? You want to start straight into the pod?
Straight into the pod.
Okay. Let's see. So we told you about the topics. So the importance of making the right choice, people. As humans, we aren't perfect and we don't always make the best choice, depending on our situation at that very moment. Do you agree or disagree?
Repeat that
Repeat.
again.
Yeah, I knew you were fucking. This girl's probably thinking about something else. As humans, we aren't perfect and we don't always make the best choice. And it always depends on their situation at that very moment.
Of course. I mean, I think choice is just. Oh my god! It's crazy because I think of it as far as like your choice to go to work that day and you end up dying that day because you went to work,
That was so
or
true.
your choice to walk down the street and go buy coffee and then a car hits you, or your choice to fall in love with someone and that person ends up killing you. How you hear people killing
Yeah.
their significant other or whatever, or your choice to not be with someone or not go visit your sibling and they end up not being there anymore. It's just all these choices that ultimately, I don't know, just
Have many different scenarios.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah. No, I get what you're saying. The first one was
it's
very crazy. You said, "Would you say go get coffee and get shot or something?"
no. No, like you walk, like you're
Yeah, no, I
walking
know
and you
what you're
get hit
saying.
by a fucking
You
car
don't
and
know
that's
what.
it.
Yeah, you don't know what
All
every
because you
choice.
wanted to walk
Correct.
and get coffee
You
instead
don't.
of
You never know
driving.
what's gonna happen. That's you put it so like crazy that I didn't even think of it like that. Now I'm scared to walk. That's why I
I mean,
drive.
choices, what is that? Like a domino effect or something? Like if I would have done this earlier, if I would have done this later, maybe the aftermath or whatever the effect of the day would have been the outcome of the day would have been different, you know?
Yeah, no, I get you. I get you. I 100% agree with you, and it all. I'll take it another way. Making the right choice in everything in that moment, you should make the choice in the best version of being not clouded by something. Sometimes emotion clouds us. Sometimes pride, peer pressure makes us make choices. Obviously, we were all young. Why did we ever drink? Because back in the day, like as a teenager, picking up the marijuana, picking up the alcohol, that was peer pressure too by our friends, by even us
It was
inventing
a
that
cool
peer
thing
pressure.
to do back then.
Yeah, it was the cool thing to do back then, exactly.
Right.
But yeah, every choice has an action and a consequence, so you got to be very careful. I always say make the best choice for you, and just know that every choice comes with exactly what she said, an underlining of the unknown. You don't know what's going to happen, but that's the consequence with every choice, or via it being in a relationship, being solo, drinking the first time, trying something out for the first time. You don't know what's going to happen with it. I'm not trying to say overthink it either, but know that don't go pointing fingers when something doesn't work your way, because at the end of the day it was your choice to make.
Right.
um So let me ask you some questions, Andrea, because I did have some questions prepared for you. As a female, I well, you know, we're talking about breakups. Obviously, we're going to talk about relationships and stuff like that. So this is my question to you: as a female, what are some things, or what the kids call red flags nowadays, where you know this relationship isn't going to work out?
Oh my god. Well, it, God, I feel like red flags depends on the person because it's like I feel like if I should start speaking them out here, I might sound like the crazy Latina or something like that.
Now, also
But like,
with your prior relationship, right? What are some things that you've noticed from the beginning, maybe that you let slide, but nowadays when you really take a look at it and examine it, you notice there were red flags?
okay, so I mean, I one of the biggest one is like, how does your significant other treat you when you are like at your lowest point? You know, like, are they there for you? Are they constantly checking in on you? Do they ask like, "What can I do to make you feel better?" Or do they just take action and do things that they know will make you feel better? Um,
So I'm assuming those are some things that weren't being done, and it got you annoyed or upset.
right, right, because I would go above and beyond, but then it wouldn't be reciprocated from my partner, and that would make me feel some type of way like that. And that's just a feeling that, stays with you, and then it always just comes up, and then they do another thing that hurts you, and then another thing and another thing, and next thing you know, it's just you have a bunch of little moments of when they weren't there for you when you needed them.
That adds up to a big moment.
Yeah.
I agree. But you know what's really weird, and I've learned this from relationships I've had in the past, recently. Do you? I don't mean to come off mean or aggressive. This because I am the same way you are. I think I give a lot, and I feel like the other person doesn't. But in all fairness, do you think it's sometimes our point of view that we feel that way? Because since we're givers, right? We're not always going to be dating another giver. You
Right.
know, there are times where we're going to be dating a person that can't emotionally handle that. And is it their fault or is it our fault for continuing that relationship with them?
Mm,
You know, that's like
that's a
yeah,
choice.
it's a,
Like,
exactly
that's a choice. I mean, it's as far as like you telling someone you love them, but they don't feel loved. But they're like, but I'm doing all these things, and this is my way of showing you that I love you. But then it's like, no, this is not how you're supposed to love me. I want you to love me this way. And you know what? That actually did happen to with my previous partner, where I told him like, work on this, and this. Like, ask me more often how I'm doing. Uh, do all
you had
sorts
the
of things,
conversations,
right?
yeah.
Like, this is how you can love me better. And they didn't see it that way. They were very like, but I do all of these other things. Like, why aren't you
Yeah.
happy?
You know what's weird though, but like I agree, like I said, I'm the guy in this perspective, you're the girl. In my relationship, it was just like I came to understand that as a person, I made the choice to be with this person, and if they're not someone that reciprocates a lot, that's my choice, right? And I had to live with that choice because I felt like, and then many thoughts got into my head. Like as a male, like there's an underlining like stereotype that if our girl is down, right, the man has to do these small things, and he should do these small things because it really you really shouldn't care what the world says. This is just my opinion. If my girl's upset and she had a hard day and it whatever happened in her day, I would DoorDash her coffee, her favorite coffee. I'd send her food without her knowing. If it was something really horrible that happened, like a traumatic thing that she can't get over, I'd send her flowers at work. I do these small things, and then when I would have my bad moments, I felt like my girl never did those small things, and some of my people might make fun of me and be like, "Oh, but you're the guy. You're not supposed to feel." But I didn't care. I didn't want fucking flowers. But what I cared is like maybe deliver me a
It's
coffee, deliver me
the little
something.
things, yeah.
But what I also came to understand is also that maybe I just didn't communicate like you did. Like I didn't communicate better to explain that I like those things too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it's tough. Like you really have to analyze your situation, and it's hard to like I'm not pointing my finger on anyone's fault other than, you know, it always takes two to tango.
Right.
And if something doesn't work out, it's not two people, like it's not, it doesn't have to be anyone's fault. It just, because of the choices you've made this far, now you have to suffer the consequence. Like you made this prolonged for this long and it didn't work out, but you had so many signals to stop it prior to it going that far, or you had the chance
Right.
to open up and talk about it
And you chose not to
and
say
you chose
anything.
not to
And
say
you can't
anything.
assume your partner
Exactly. But like I said,
knows.
you don't always know your partner. Your partner cannot mirror you.
Right.
It's your counterpart. It's a person that may be like you, may not be like you. And that's the choice we make when we continue to roll with them. You know what I mean? Like continue. And sometimes it gets better and stronger with communication. It does improve. And sometimes it doesn't. And now we're in a situation where, you know, we got to start it all over again. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just weird. Like, I like what you said, but also, like, I feel like we expect others to do things that we would do, but we can't ask of that if we don't communicate. And if they choose not to do it, then we're given a signal saying, okay, they're not like you and they're not going to reciprocate. So now the ball is in your court. What are you going to do? And we choose to still continue that relationship.
Right. I mean, to be fair to you, can't expect for them to change, one day to another when you ask them or you tell them like this is how I want you to treat me or whatever. It's
Has
just
he
it
asked
takes
you to
time.
change and you did change for him in certain ways?
I mean, I guess he really didn't ask for much. I felt like if anything, I was the one always constantly asking him or telling him to do certain things, which then kind of made it seem like I was the one who was nagging. But
I don't think it's
again,
nagging. I think you just wanted something and he had a door to do something about it and he kind of gave you like an image of what he was going to do and he basically said no, I'm good, or like I'm
yeah,
not going to work on this. This is the toughest truth to you, to me. No one changes for a person. That is absolutely bullshit. When people say, "Oh, I made them change," or "They changed for me," I can guarantee you 100%. I can look in your eyes and say, they never fucking change for you. They change for themselves. And if they do like you, they're going to talk to themselves and say, I want to keep this girl around, so I am going to change, but that is their choice. It is not yours. It's not because you go and talk. You may hint at them and be like, hey, I don't want you to do this. And that person will be like, well, do I give a fuck what you want? Like, in all honesty, do I give a fuck that, like, if I do give a fuck because I like you, and I think that you're right, then I am going to change. But I think a lot of people, like in the beginning of a relationship, like I said in the beginning of every episode, they give you what you want to see. And then you find out later on that's not who they really are. And
right.
that comes with the tough truth like, fuck, who the fuck is this person now? It's not that they stop caring, they stop putting a fake them in front of you. And then you start seeing all these real attributes of who they really are.
I mean, yeah, the person I thought I was with is definitely not the person who I kind of fell in love with. But what's that?
Hey, listen, it's tough. You know, like we're talking about like it takes, that's why a lot of relationships I don't encourage people to get married so quickly, because you got to get the kinks out, you got to get the fakeness out, you got to people get comfortable really quick, but you also, when you're uncomfortable, how are you going to deal with that? Are you
Right.
going to confront it? Are you going to face it? Are you going to be someone that runs away from it? Like we were talking about the 3 F's. It's when you're in an argument, there are people that fight, there are people that flight, which means they just completely avoid the argument, and the people that freeze in those situations. Like, you have to know your partner, your ins and outs, and then when you do get to see those moments, like how are you going to approach it from there? Are you going to get better at it? Are you going to encourage them to be more open with you? Like, there's a lot of kinks to work out. Relationships are not easy. They're not supposed
No,
to be
they're
easy.
not.
Think about your
They're not
friends.
supposed to be easy. Like, shouldn't they be easy though? I feel like it shouldn't be that hard to love someone. It should be.
I think that part
It's
is
the
easy.
yeah. I
A
was gonna
loving
say
person is
love
easy.
is easy. It's everything else that's
Yeah,
just
because it's but some people don't like showing vulnerability. Like, it's hard for a man. Like, I don't know how it comes from a girl's perspective. It's very hard for a man to let go of his, to like drop his wall and be like, this is who I am. love me,
Yeah.
because then they feel like you might, let's say it doesn't work. This is how a guy thinks. Most of them are overthinkers. When they drop their wall and you get exposed to who they really are, genuinely, if it doesn't work out, you saw them in their fucking nakedness, like not like
No, I
physically,
get
but
you. Yeah.
you saw who they really were, and they don't like people to have a piece of that because it shows. Because then when they go post something on Instagram or go put up a story, you'll always know. Like Andrea will always know. Like that's a bitch right there. Like he ain't anything like that. You know what I mean? Like, and that's what a guy doesn't like for anyone to have is some truth to them. Like it's very sacred to us to not expose that to somebody. Like that's at least that's my perspective. That's how I used to be.
Right.
But I was like, fuck all that. Like I don't give a fuck who knows me. Like that's why I told you my number one rule. People are like, oh, you shouldn't be honest to people. I'm like, fuck. There's so much more energy of me not being truthful and being my real self than it is. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna hide certain attributes. I'm gonna tell you who I am from the very start.
Yeah.
And if you don't like me, you don't like me. At least we knew from that day. Like, all right, Puka, I don't like you. All right, motherfucker, I knew you for one day. Like, it
Right.
don't hurt.
Right. No, it does take more time to deceive someone than just be true to yourself.
Facts. It's stressful. You get tired of it, and like I said, it's a lot to break down that mirror from that guy. And I don't know. Is it the same with females? Do you guys are you honest from the very beginning?
But no, I mean, at least for me, I think this last relationship, I actually was improving on my communication skills because I'm a flight. There's a conflict, I walk away or I just shut everything out and I'm just like ignoring or just don't talk to me for 2 days. And then maybe on the third, fourth day, maybe we could just talk about it or whatever. But I've gone a lot better with communication, still struggle with it a little bit here and there, but it's something that I've been working on. And that's with friends, family, partners,
Yeah.
just in general, just
You have
communicating.
gotten better. I've known this girl. We've said this before, but I've known this girl since I was in the fourth grade.
Fourth grade.
So there has been years. I mean, we've gone years without fucking even saying a word to each other. But it's just like an on and off friendship that I've seen her grow. She's seen the weird side of me, like young. Oh my god! Like I hate that that young version of me because not many people can say that. And my bros, I don't mind them knowing because they know I was a fucking idiot. But a very young me version, and it's just weird for you to have that. It's like you have it. Like I'm even being real right now. Like that's what I'm saying. Like guys don't like this, but you always have that version of me that I never liked. Like I didn't like that young self of me at all. I was
Damn,
very
that's a
shy,
little
very timid, very. I wasn't happy with who I was back then, as a kid. And you know what? This goes out to like that's why a lot of kids fucking are, are at least our generation is so fucked up. Like
yeah.
it's a lot of shit that we definitely should have seen like psychologists for. I mean, a therapist for, and it could have definitely helped out. But growing up in a Latino household, I don't know about your parents, but my parents never going to a fucking therapist. You might as well fucking
No,
worship the
we don't
devil.
do that. No.
Yeah, yeah,
And
yep.
feelings, talking about feelings at home, nope, not a thing either. But that's crazy what you just said about like you know a part of me that I didn't like. Like that's crazy.
Yeah, no, I wasn't very fond of that person because I was made fun of a lot. I
Yeah.
was uh I was a kid that didn't have the greatest child experience, and knowing that you're part of that history, like I can guarantee, like she wasn't mean to me by the way. She was actually very nice to me, but just at least for the most part, right?
No, I was always nice.
But she's just a part of that history, and it makes me cringe a little bit. But I'm like, it had to go, right? I'm a lot older now. We're friends still, and I'm just saying, I'm giving you guys an example. Like, there's those. That's how a guy thinks. Like, she just has that little bit of history of me that, like, I hate to bring up, but it's true. Like, I don't like her to have it, and God forbid, like, I were to have dated someone that has that of me. It hurts me. It makes me feel like fuck. This person's seen every side of me. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's a weakness. You know,
Facts.
it's a weakness.
Well, that's what you do when you're vulnerable.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I don't even know how the fuck we went into all that. Uh, let me ask you a question.
Okay.
As a female, are you a person who believes a breakup should be done in person, over text, on the phone call, or does it even matter in today's world?
Oh my goodness. Only because I've bugged out via text, but I know you shouldn't do that at all. Like, you should not break up with someone or fight with someone through text because there's just so much miscommunication that happens and that can be avoided if you just see the person in person, you know? Like, there's this, what's the saying? Something like tones need to be felt, eyes need to be seen.
Damn, that was deep. I've never
Like
heard
it's
that.
just, you guys need to sit down, talk it out, and if the breakup needs to happen, then it happens in person. But I feel like it's, if anything, you owe the person respect to do it in person, and that's something I'm working on too. Because I've, oh my god, I've, yeah,
It's
no, I've,
tough.
I've, yeah,
It's tough. It's hard. What, shit, that shit hit me deep. What did you say? Eyes. What? That was like
like,
poetry right there.
like tones need to be felt, eyes need to be seen.
Yeah. That's fucking deep. I didn't. Damn. Well, I agree. It should be done in person, but I understand why some people can't. But I think that it really depends on your relationship, right? Like if you're a newbie and you only dated a couple dates, then fine, do it through text. I don't think it really. There's no emotional attachment,
Okay.
which you also shouldn't assume, but I don't think there's a big deal there. I think that if you've developed a relationship, you've been together for a couple of months, then you at least owe that person your face to break up if that's going to be the case because you're taking ownership of your decision. You know
Right.
what I mean? And you have to understand that what you're doing to the person, it's going to affect them emotionally. But I think that if you really care for them at all, it would have been done in person. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Like, so I agree with you there. I agree with you 100%. Let's see. Is there a time you definitely fucked up and made the wrong choice and it cost you a lot?
Oh my god, I don't even know. Like, it could be like hypothetical. Like, I wish
No, like talk about a real choice you've
a
made in the
real
past
choice.
and it's fucking cost you a lot. Why?
Oh my god.
Well, you did say the last relationship you're with. We can continue with that part. That you wish you could take it back.
I mean, I don't regret anything because it's led me to where I am now. I am, I guess, not, things aren't picture perfect, but
It's put a
uh,
good
that's a tough
like
question. That's like,
it put a good gash on your heart. Like let's just say that. Like it's like a heartbreak that it hurt. Like it's been
yeah.
pro.
But
Like
then it's also like, now I know what that feels like.
remember what I said to you before, and hopefully I can keep this part. This chapter went longer than your previous chapters and it felt more closer to the final chapter. We all want to say it. We all want to get married one day, right? Guy or girl, you want to settle down, you want to meet your soulmate and create your future. So you were closer to that chapter and I feel like that's why it really hurt.
Yeah.
Yeah. And if it's supposed to. That's actually means that you had actual emotional attachment and you saw yourself getting closer to that final chapter and you got really, I mean, you don't want, maybe you don't want to say it, but you got really pissed off that it didn't, or maybe you got really happy that it did and you don't know which one to really
That
feel.
then that's the crazy part. It's like,
Like, are you mad that it didn't, or are
I'm
you happy
I'm
that you
both
did
right now. Like, it's just like I'm angry about it,
but relieved at
but
the
I'm
same time?
also relieved that,
It didn't go that far.
because I'm meant to have better things, you
I
know.
think you do. I think you deserve the best.
Oh, thank
Yeah, you're a good person,
you.
Andrea. Yeah, from the years that I've known you, like I've said to you many times, no one deserves a shitty thing unless you're a shitty person. And for me, I can't decide if you're a shitty person. I think the shitty people in the world show who they really are. Like we all know. Like I bet you we go to the street, we can tell who's actually a shitty person. You know what I mean? Like they make their own actions speak louder than
Right.
words. Um,
What about you though? Is there anything that, I mean, ultimately that question you ask kind of just focuses on having regret. Like, do you regret making a choice and taking it back?
um, Is there a time I fucked up? There's a lot of times I
Well,
fucked up.
yesterday, no, I'm
There's
kidding.
a lot of times I fucked up. I can gladly say that in one of my darkest moments, I chose to run away, and I always use the excuse that I needed time away to mentally heal. But I ran away because I
You ran away.
ran away with leaving my old house
Okay, okay, okay.
because I needed a new space. This is where we are, my new
Okay,
space.
okay.
But eventually, I have to go back, and I look at it. Remember, like I don't like to preach religion or anything. I look at it as a second chance. Like I don't think I was supposed to go away. I don't think I was supposed to ever turn my back on my family the way I did. But I used the excuse that I was mentally not okay. And anyone that knew me back then, when that first happened, they knew how fucked up I was. I was losing a lot of weight, not naturally. I was so, Andrea, I lost like 25 pounds just from stress. I wasn't going to
Damn.
the gym. I wasn't eating. I was just fucking stressed out of my mind. Um, there are times I told, like I said it before, I would sit outside my house for 3 hours in my driveway just because I didn't want to go inside. And I don't know. I'm so thankful this happened. So like, I don't regret moving here. Like, because I love the time that I spent here. I love the time. I love the recovery I've made, but I don't
Hmm.
think, when people say, like, you hear people that motivate people, or you hear the religion book, the Bible, in tough times, what are you going to do? Are you going to turn around and face it, or are you going to be a person that runs away? I'm not saying I made the wrong choice, but I don't think that was the choice to make. So I'm given a second chance to go back and face my issues, and not many people get that second choice. And I'm glad I'm being given it. So I'm in a better space of mind to go back and face it. And that's what I needed. But like I said, not everyone's given a second choice. Like I don't like I said, I'm not preaching religion, but it's a funny way how the energy works. Like nothing has improved in my situation over there, and now I'm being forced to come back. I'm not saying I'd be the savior of the fucking house or the family, but this energy is giving me a second choice to rectify what is happening, and hopefully with this better understanding of where I am mentally and everything,
Right.
I'll be stronger to handle that.
It's your second chance to deal with it. You're
Correct. And I'm
dealing
not
with
running
it.
away from it this time.
Right.
I'm going to face, even though there's worse outcomes to me going back now. Now I got to find a spot for my parents.
A lot
The
more
first time I'm going to be
responsibilities.
separated from
Right.
them. It's a financial burden on me, but it's looking like it's out. This is the outline that I need to do, and I'm finding a way to find a solution to it. And it's not easy. It's not easy. It's not supposed to be. Any tough situation is not supposed to be easy. If it were easy, then it's not a situation. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like
Right.
so that's like that me turning away to find a better state of mind is a decision I regret, but I don't take it back. I can't. It's too late, anyways.
Right.
So,
Right.
but yeah, that's my answer.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's with any problem in general, just choosing to leave or run away just because you don't want to sit with it and
Flight.
deal with it. Right.
So I told you, I've been in flight. I've
Yeah.
been in freeze. I've been in flight. I've been in fight.
Right.
So I'm choosing fight this time.
Right.
I'm choosing to fight against all the problems that are coming my way.
Right. And you're fighting for you, your family.
My fucking credit.
Yeah. Your life.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So and it's in the worst moment, right?
Yeah.
Like I told you, like God or not God, like he is life is testing me
That's
in
how it.
ways that I
Yeah.
don't understand.
When you have something bad or not good happen to you, and then you have another thing, and then another thing, and another thing. You want to give up, but
Yeah.
don't give up. You
No, no, no.
know,
I'm not gonna
don't
give it
give
up.
up.
I thought of. I'm gonna be real with you guys. Suicide was in my head years ago when I was young. It will never be a thought ever again in my mind because I've decided that I'm too much of a pussy to go that outcome. I don't ever. It's fucked up because I never thought of it in the way like, oh, I'm leaving my family behind. That honestly, that was the easiest choice, which is so fucked up. When I thought about suicide, it would that thought didn't even make me resist of continuing it. What made me do not do any of that was because I was afraid to not wake up the next day. Like that is what made me
Well, there's actually, now that you talk about like suicide, it's something I forgot. It was a quote that says something about like if you go to the ocean and you try to drown yourself, your instinct is to fight, because you don't want to drown. So you don't want to kill yourself, but you want to kill everything
the
inside
emotion.
you and everything that's been happening, and you
Correct.
kind of just want to start new and fresh.
Correct. But that's
So,
because people don't. Well, I'm not saying that. Like I said, I believe in it, but the ones that don't, they don't know what they just don't want to feel anything.
yeah,
You know what I mean? I didn't want that. Well, that's what I did want, but I knew. Remember, like I said, everything comes in weird things for me. In that time, I wasn't religious. I hated God because of what happened to my grandfather. And me committing suicide, I didn't know what was out in the other side because I said, well, fuck God, because God's not
right,
there. So if I die, I'm not going to heaven. Am I going to go into just a darkness and not know what's going on? Like, obviously, there's going to be no thought. So that's what scared me.
right,
But now that I believe in God, I, I'm not saying this is ever going to cross my mind again, but if I were to think about it, I know that I'd be going to a better place. I know I'd be leaving all my burden, but I've matured. I've grown up to understand that that shouldn't ever even be an option because it could be cloudy one day, and I promise you the
right.
sun will fucking clear things up another day. Like, there is no reason to look at that as a choice because one bad day. Don't let one bad day take away years.
Or one bad month or one bad year,
Correct.
you know.
Because you have
It's just
so much more to go. And if something were to happen, if something were worse to happen on later on and you just feel like it's being attacked on you, everyone's like that, man. Life is not supposed to be a fucking it's not supposed to be a joyride. If it were a joyride, everyone would be committing suicide because there is no sadness, there's no bad moments. Like for something to feel good, something bad had to happen for you to feel good again.
right.
You know what I mean? Like who the fuck do you see doing this all day? Like
Right, like you need to know what sad feels like to know what happiness feels like.
correct. Yeah. I chose the wrong field, right? More here
no, I,
working.
no, I think this is a great field for you. You gotta talk it out, you know?
What were we asking again? Oh my god, I don't even know the questions. That got so deep. Oh, that was the fucked up question. Okay. Good counter question. Good counter question. Even though you just asked me the same thing. What were some things that you tolerated in your early days of dating when you were young that you wouldn't tolerate today?
Oh my god, I feel like it's just so much. Uh, the disrespect, rudeness, selfishness, just
Is that light flickering? It is, right? I'm not bugging.
yeah, this one is. And then I
Stupid
also
ass
hear a
light.
voice. Is that your
Oh, it's
mom?
my parents. Yeah,
Okay.
on the inside. My bad. So keep going.
What was the question?
Oh, what were some things you tolerated in the past that you wouldn't today in dating?
Oh my god.
Stupid ass light. They're probably using something.
I don't.
Sorry for anyone that has epilepsy. You're so. What was that?
Uh, um, what was the question again? Oh my god, I'm like
What are
blanking
some
out right
things
now.
in your early days of dating that you tolerated back then that you wouldn't tolerate today?
I guess effort, you know. I've in previous relationships I've had them not show effort. I don't know.
No,
It's
no,
just
that's 100% valid. There were things in your prior relationship where you felt like the effort wasn't there on their part. That's different from the having wanting them to change. You just
right.
want, even if they didn't change, you just want at least them to try.
Let's just try.
Yeah. Who are you talking to? Who's over there? I think I know who's over there. But, no, I agree with you 100%. Effort is I like that one. Yeah, I definitely want to see.
Communication too,
That's
because I
mine.
know
Yeah,
that. Oh my god, I don't think I would put up with my old self
me
back
too.
then.
That's
Like
fine.
I lacked communication. Like I would get mad and not say anything, and I
I
would
fucking hate it.
ignore you
Bunch of girls are like
until
that.
you figure it out.
We're mind readers, by the way.
Yeah.
No, we're
No.
not. Yeah, that's the fucking thing I hate the most about fucking the female
No,
counterpart.
I think that's my biggest problem. Like I get mad, I don't say anything, I walk
You
away.
expect it to be solved.
Right.
Yeah,
And that's something that, I've been definitely improving. You just have to communicate. You just have to communicate for
I
shit
like
to
that.
work
That
out,
was mine. Yeah,
you know?
communication. Like I said, I put all my cards on the table in the beginning. I don't try to scare people, but it's just I think it's better if you know who I am. And I'd rather know that we broke up because it just wasn't working out anymore. The love fell off.
How soon do you put everything?
I'm
How
I'm
soon do
very
you put all your cards down though? Because
I'm not scared of leaving that at the like. Let's say
now that I'm dating,
yeah.
how soon
Let's
do I
say
tell him,
right
"Hey,
right
I think I'm a
you're
little crazy," but
nah. I don't give a fuck. I am a little weird. I'm weird as fuck. Let's say it's a first date, right? Like, and you were like we were figuring each other out, right?
uh-huh.
And you were to ask me, oh, like, do you like what you do, right? Most people to impress the other person because now biologically, right? Speaking, this is I've been watching a lot of fucking TV lately, so I'm talking like these fucking TikTokers. But biologically speaking, right? A man's gonna look at a female and be like, all right, this girl wants me to be financially set or happy where I'm going in my
Hmm.
career, right? Most guys will tell you, oh, I have this job right now. I'm very good at it. I'm looking to progress. I'm looking at other jobs. I want to try to make more money. I'm gonna be straight up and be like, I fucking hate my job, but it pays the bills. And eventually, these are my hobbies. These are what I'm looking to do to get myself into passive income.
Right.
Most people won't say that shit. Most
Yeah.
people will be shying away from their pod, like because most everyone has a fucking podcast nowadays. And it wouldn't like me if I really wanted to impress a girl, I can easily lie and just not even mention this, and let her figure it out, right?
Right.
But I'm all honest. I tell them I run a podcast, I do this, I do that. I hate where I'm working right now. Currently, not looking to fix any situations because it pays my bills.
Right.
So I don't have a plan right now, but I am eventually looking to fix that solution. But now I laid everything out with where I am financially.
Right.
I have some debt. Like if she were to ask me, like, right, I don't think any girl's gonna ask this, but if she were to ask me in like the first couple of dates, like, do you have any debt, right? Just because she wants to know, I'm going to
Stop,
be honest.
because I did ask a guy.
Oh, you see?
I was like, "Do you have money? Are you financially stable?" That kind of scared him off a little bit.
Yeah. When it comes to the aggressive question,
It is a little aggressive,
and
but then it's
some
like,
guys might come off like, who the fuck are you? And
right,
some
or they might
guys,
think like, "Oh, I'm coming out for your money" or
yeah, sure, you gotta
But
phrase that question better.
it was more just like, "Are you taking care of yourself?"
Are you financially stable? Like, where you
Right.
at? Yeah.
Because if we're gonna come into this together, I can't really take care of you right now because I'm trying to take care of myself, and
I
then
got you.
eventually, you know,
Like I said, if the question's asked, if you were to ask me that, I'd tell you the truth. I'd be like,
right,
I'm financially taking care of my parents, and I would say to you, I don't have money to spoil you like a fucking prima donna, but I
right,
do have money to take care of you in the instance of dating. I got some of this bills that's mine. But my number one check, which I shouldn't be telling the world, if a girl never offers to pay for the bill in the first 10 to 15 dates, I write them off.
oh, okay, now I've done that. I do
Yeah,
that.
if they offer, I never will let them pay. Well, now I'm fucking letting all these fucking bitches now,
Now
but
they know,
I will never offer to pay. I mean, I will never make them pay,
right?
but I need to see an
It's just the
offer.
fact that they're
Yeah,
offering,
because it
right,
shows that they're compassionate and empathetic.
right, or like, I got your back. Well, funny that you said that because this person that my
Hmm.
like an ex, I told him about an idea that I had, and leaving my job, and how I wanted to work on this project,
Hmm.
right? And he was like, "Oh, well, how are you gonna pay for your stuff? How are you gonna handle things and whatnot?" And that kind of like broke my heart because I was expecting
He's
him
just
to,
shitting on your dreams.
and I was kind of expecting him to be like, "All right, we'll figure it out. I got you, you know, maybe you can ask your parents for help or, you know, but I'm here for you if you do need something, like we'll figure it out, but you're going to make your dreams happen. Like it'll work itself out.
Correct.
But he didn't. And that made me realize, oh, so he doesn't have my back in
He
that.
looks at you as a bill or a burden.
Right. Or it
Yeah.
was just like, hey, no, we're roommates. We're roommates, you know?
Yeah, yeah. I got you. That makes sense. Like I said, like that's why I lay out all my cards because if a girl were to tell me later on, like, "Oh, that's not what you said in the beginning," I'm like, "No, I did."
No, that's good
Yeah,
because then you would just be deceiving yourself
yeah.
and the
It's
girl,
not
and
me
it's
who's
like for what?
changing; it's you. You know what I mean? Like
Right.
you're changing your answer, not me.
Right.
Like I never said anything that I didn't want, and if and it, in your instance, I like what you said and how you said it because like you didn't expect him to just be like, "All right, I got you." You just wanted him to support it and be like, "All right, we need to find a solution for you. How we're
Right.
gonna make this happen for you."
Right. Like I know this is your dream. I love you. We're gonna make it work.
Yeah, there's just it's tough, man. Like guy or girl, there's not many out there that aren't selfish. A lot of this today's world is teaching these fucking people to be very self-centered. And I'm not saying you can't be self-centered. You should be
Right.
working to be the best you. But if you're willing to go into a relationship, you have to understand that comes with you having to not give up on your dreams, but understanding there's another, like Paula said it best, and shout out to Paula, but your partner is an extension of you. You accept it. Like so many days people say, I'll be your boyfriend, I'll be your girlfriend. But it's not as easy. Like when you say you're gonna be my girlfriend, you're now an extension of me. Your dreams matter as much as mine. So I feel like a lot of people don't look at it as a relationship like that anymore. They look at it more as a sexual thing. Like, yo, am I getting my like
Right. Like you're
my
on your
daily
own.
dose of
Yeah.
sex? Am I getting my daily dose of cook me fucking food?
Yeah.
But you don't want to hear the other part where she comes with her problems, comes with her
Right.
situations, and a lot of people don't see it like that nowadays, which is so stupid because I that's probably why divorce rates are crazy. That's probably why people don't last in long term relationships because they don't want to go past and I hate that excuse like and I'm also trying to work on that because I'm an asshole. I'm an asshole. I will say this. Sometimes I have the shittiest day at work and I don't want to hear the other side of her situations. It's been plenty of examples. I'm going to out myself. And I say, yo, not today. Like, I've had a horrible day. But I don't realize what I'm doing. I'm diminishing her fucking day
Right.
regardless. I've been an asshole in that regard. Like, and I've noticed it. Like I said, when I went through a breakup, I'm analyzing everything, and I noticed certain details that I could have handled a lot better. I
Right.
could have been a better person. I could have definitely been a better partner. That's what I'm saying. You can't just blame the other person. It comes down to
Oh,
both of them.
for sure. You know,
Yeah,
after the chaos ends, then you start noticing, like, oh,
yeah, yeah, absolutely. So yeah, we keep dwelling into these questions like crazy. Um, oh, do you? What are some coping methods that you've done?
hmm, that I've done
Yeah, like what are things that
just to
you?
cope with anything, you know.
Yeah, you could say that. Well,
So I've had a pretty tough year. I would say maybe since the beginning of the year. Um,
23 hasn't been kind to you.
it has not. It has not. And even last year, too, the end of last year was pretty tough, um, where it was just like my surgery, then mm, one of my parents not feeling well, and then work just being very overwhelming, and then mentally me not feeling well, and the person I was with back then also just him going through something. So all of that, I felt, I don't know, I just felt numb and everything was just spinning and spinning and spinning.
Yeah.
And what I did was I just sank myself into work and kind of just like numbed myself against everything, just worked and worked. And then,
Anesthesia to life.
yeah. And then once, I mean, recently because of the, what was it, the strikes, So I've been unemployed for 4 months because of the actors strike, the writers strike. Um, I had so much time in my hands that I was going crazy, and I was actually feeling stuff. And what did I do? I went to Miami, and
Okay.
then I went to Georgia. And so I was filling my time with all these things, so I didn't feel anything. And then I got back home, and then I'm like, all right, let's gym, let's let's go out. That's why I have so much credit card debt now. Just kept going out, eating out, drinking.
It's a
Like,
coping
let's
thing.
just, yeah, let's just, I don't want to
Do
stay home.
stuff.
I don't want to
Yeah.
stay home, you know? Um, and then, it wasn't until like 3 months that I started feeling it. And that's when I bought the Bible. I started reading it. And
Good for you. I haven't even read the thing.
I mean,
It's so weird that I'm like spiritually in tune and I preach the stuff and I haven't opened the Bible. People, that's what I'm saying. I can't give you what you want to hear when it comes to preaching the Lord's name because I haven't. I'm don't get me wrong. It's in my. I bought it. I have to read it. I just talk to myself a lot, and I feel like the other person on side of me that's answering is my inner self. That's also how do I get my inner self? Who's giving me this image of me? And I think it's the only thing that I've ever truly returned my faith to is like I told you, everything good for me that has happened when I finally asked, and everything worse got worse for a sec for it to get better. It has to because like I said in the previous episode, like my dog was suffering some illness, God took him away, and to me that means all right, Dora, you asked me for him not to suffer, I'm making him not suffer. He's in a better place. Um, I asked for my family to be okay. He did. He said, okay, I'm going to make your dad okay, but I have to retire him. Physically had to retire him. Now I don't have that income anymore. What does that mean? A financial burden on me. But he's like, you have to, he's,
you
when you
can't have
ask
it
for
all.
something, you can't have it all. Something has to come with something. A choice comes with a consequence. And
Mm-hmm.
like, what did that make me do? It made me search for a better job. It made me realize that I got too comfortable where I was, and I needed to feel uncomfortable. And that was my greatest fear. I didn't want to feel that. I didn't want to
Right.
meet new people. I didn't want to go searching. But what did it do? It made me go and got me a good job where I have a nice career where I'm at now, where I'm able to take care of my parents. Might not be the best situation. It would be for me, but for them, I want something better for them. But things are there are things that are opening up for me to give them a better life, and I'm going to make sure that I don't deteriorate from those choices because they're hard. Like the way I need to get this is going to be a hard road for me, but it's I think I need to face it. So I agree with you 100% on whatever you said before.
Bro.
Ow. I completely forgot what you said.
Me too.
Um,
Damn.
uh, uh,
That's
uh.
how good the combo is.
Yeah,
You just
yeah,
can't
man.
even remember.
What are oh, I
Oh,
guess I can say coping methods. I'll
oh,
answer
right.
my
That's
my
what we were
aspect.
talking about. Coping.
Same thing as you. Gym books, like self improvement books. A lot of YouTube. A lot of David Goggins. Man, I love David Goggins. A lot of podcasts. Like I listen to a lot. Like Joe Rogan is my fucking dude. A lot of people hate him.
Oh, I like
You gotta
him.
look at the positive things for. Not everyone's a perfect human being. So I know he has his flaws, but I love the things that I found to him that's inspirational, motivational. Discipline is. Listen to Mike Tyson. He's a scary fuck to listen to, but he said, "Do something you hate like you love to do." I hate the gym, so I'm gonna do it like I love to do it because I know physically it'll help me. I hate fucking reading books, but it'll help me. Like I'll have to read it as if it's going to. Like if you don't believe it, it's never gonna happen. You have to believe in something. Manifest that you're gonna get better by doing small things that are contributing to your mental health, contributing to your physical health, and to your well-being in your heart too. Like I truly believe that the person that I broke up with, that we broke up, I want nothing but the best for them, and I have nothing but respect for them, and I know the future holds great things for that person. Like me and you are in different situations. Like my breakup happened for many reasons, but in my instance, thankfully, there is not there wasn't like a cheating or a fight. There was just a misunderstanding in what we wanted, and
Yeah.
that's okay. Because how do I persecute somebody for wanting something differently from me? That would be wrong of me. Then I should persecute myself as well, because how do I justify my dreams are better than hers, or my future goals are better than hers?
Right.
Like that would be horrible of me as a person, and it'd be going against everything that I believe in. So I can be angry about it. I can be sad about it. I can be upset. I can be, um, confused. But I wouldn't. This is the first time I've ever felt. That's why I feel. I like what you asked me before. Is this true love that you felt? Is this your first true love? I think this is my first true love at a mature state of myself. I've never been mature before this. Like before this last couple of years, I've matured my most. And I can gladly say that she's my first true love in this stage. Like I've never been this version of myself. I'm looking at you and I can't even believe the words that are coming out of my mouth. Like it's just like I've grown profoundly as a person, and it scares me sometimes of how much I've matured emotionally, mentally, and intellectually, like as an individual. But I have everyone to thank that's in my circle. You're part of this contribution, like my friends are, my parents are, the people I've surrounded myself with is the reason I've gotten to this level. So and she is a huge reason of where I am today. I would not be me if it weren't for her being in my life,
Damn.
you know? So,
I mean, it's painful when something like that becomes a lesson, you know,
yeah,
and a good one, because it did a lot good, more good than bad, if
like you said,
anything.
man, like love is a choice. I chose to love her and she chose to love me back, but we also chose a different future.
Yeah.
And that's probably one of the hardest things. Like when everything is going good, why break up? Well, we didn't see eye to eye in future choices, and that's what had to be done. I also don't want to speak for her, so I don't know. Maybe she can. Hopefully, she vouches. Like, but imagine like this guy was an asshole.
No, I doubt it.
Yeah.
Let me know,
Eh.
girl.
She texts you after this. Guy's horrible. Everything he's saying.
Oh God, it's her.
But
No, yeah, no. You know what? And about that, like, you guys with something like that, it's like, how can you sleep at night? Like for
oh,
me,
thanks.
like I could not sleep at night with all of these expectations I had from my previous partner and him not meeting it, and it you break your heart every night, you know, and that hurt is with you, and how much I loved him, it was just not enough because it did not make me feel good about myself.
And that shouldn't be the case. So I told you, if in the beginning you feel a strong feeling of resistance, listen to it. I'm not saying that's going to be the end of your relationship, but listen to it, hone into it, and really ask yourself, where is this coming from? And is there anything that I can do with this person to progress from this situation?
Right.
You know what I mean? Like those are hard conversations. Anyone. I'm not saying I'm perfect. Like I said, I've told you, I've owned up to. I fucked up a lot in that. In my even my previous relationship, so beautiful. I've definitely haven't been like this is TMI, but I'm a person that really likes a certain aspect of a relationship, and I feel like I need it, and if it's not given to me, I act like a little kid sometimes too.
Mhm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, and that's where the vulnerability comes in. That's where the part of me having to be a better communicator. And my just because of this podcast, we have to talk. Like this is me being real, but it doesn't mean I'm also a real human being
Right.
outside of
When you're
this.
in the
Like,
moment with that
yeah,
person, it's not as easy,
exactly. I'm
you
not a
know.
narrator all the time in my
Right.
relationship. I'm not like, all right, sit down. We're gonna start an episode.
Well, right now I've been feeling a little.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
hard to tell the other person that you value
Yeah.
how you feel, and it's completely normal. But it's things that you need to
And then
discuss
it's the risk of like, are they gonna acknowledge
or
what you, or
dismiss
dismiss what you're saying? And
facts.
that's, a choice too. Like, oh, just, like, am I gonna get hurt by what he says after what I just told him?
It's always a risk,
It's a risk.
risk or reward.
Yeah.
Well, you answered this question, but I was gonna say, do you believe in finding the one?
No, I mean, I've seen a video
Mm-hmm.
uh on TikTok about that. There is no one, but you make that person. You
You're
know,
one.
you're one.
I agree with you.
It's built.
I 100% agree with you. I don't think I can add too much to that because I think that's perfectly said. You work on it. If you want that person to be the one, you work on it, and you find out after battle and struggle and happiness and dwelling with each other's
Right.
emotions. If you find out that person's the one, so I agree with you
Right.
100%
Like
on
you
that.
choose. I choose you to struggle with. I choose you. I choose to love you. I choose to be sad with you. I choose all of it.
This is a tough question, so hopefully this won't make you cry.
Oh my god.
Um, what is the most difficult part of moving on for you?
Jesus. I think like the memories or everything that's left behind after it ends. Um and like I used to live with my partner, and I think everything that was in that home, I God, I wanted to burn everything, and I kind of just wanted to, or like I just wanted to start new because this table reminded me of him, the picture, the magnet, the desk, whatever, like everything. um but it's moving on from that and just being like, no, these are my things. um it's okay. It's a part of history now. um but then there's times when a song comes up, and this has happened to me, oh my god, I feel like every other day. It's the fucking song that we used to sing, and it just pops up every single time.
Yeah.
Every single time.
Well, you're still coping. You know, it's still early. The wound stages. And like I said, I'm putting a nice image of myself. I'm not like this calm or anything. I'm letting my emotions run through too. So I agree with you. Songs. Oh man, you should see me in my car. I cry like a bitch. I cry like a fucking bitch. I wait for my parents to fall asleep for me to start crying again. I fucking go on. Yo, bro, I'm telling you, yo, at work sometimes I go to the restroom because something comes up and I just need to tear it out a little bit, or just I need to go away. And you know, it's tough. The gallery, like you said, the gallery is hard to remove. And I swear to you that wasn't on. Like, it's hard because mine is so new, and I want to make sure that before I do anything drastic, that it's actually over. I think it's over because
Ugh, that's the worst though. Just having like clinging on
no,
to
no,
a
no.
little hope, because that's how
The
it
hope died for
was.
me,
Okay,
which is,
yeah.
and I'm not trying to sound fucking dramatic, but the hope
No,
died
but
for me because I know who she is. Like, she can't hide that from me, and she knows who I am. And those words that she told me and I told her were so honest and so real that if there is a David in this person in the future, it's not going to be anytime soon. It's hard for me to say, but like I know for a fact deep down, it
it's not
shouldn't
gonna
come.
be anytime soon. That's still. I think you should just say it's just never gonna be.
No, no, no. Well, because I don't know. Look, I'm not trying to sound like a hopeful person. I really don't know. You know why? Because I can't read down in 2 3 years. I don't know what's gonna happen. I
I
really,
guess. I mean, yeah, you're right.
even with you, as of right now, this today's chapter, that chapter is closed. But like you said, there's things that surround yourself that you remind me. If I look at this room, I could think of it like that. You know, there's so many things of her that she's bought, she's given, she's put her mark on, but I can't look at it like that. These are my
That's
things.
what I'm saying, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, it's you. Yeah,
you
you
know,
take ownership. Like this is mine,
this is mine.
and that's
Yes,
it.
there's a
It's fine.
beat of history, but there's that's gonna like if you were to throw everything away that you had with your prior relationship,
Yeah.
you would have nothing. You would just have nothing. Everything would remind you of that person. I wore those jeans on that date, like you know what I mean? Yeah,
It was
like
that damn shirt where he first kissed me.
so. Like
No, yeah.
I tend to not even think like that because to me that I'm just going in a deeper circle that makes no
No,
sense to
yeah.
me.
I think that was the hardest part is just when you cling on, when you choose hope, after it. Like you choose to like believe that you might rekindle whatever. But I think once I got past that, like slowly my feelings start dying out and it's just like it's not going to happen. And I think now I'm just or I was mourning what could have been, you
Yeah,
know? I
which is
think
normal.
and that's that, you know?
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Let's see. All right, we're getting to the end of it, so I can let you go to Jorge Lopez. But what are some tips or advice if you were to give a fellow person going through a breakup? It doesn't have to be for a female, or it can be for anyone. Like, what are some tips or advice that you'd give, knowing that you've been through this and you're going through this still? Like, what's some wisdom that Andrea can drop to the world?
I mean, I think it's what we've been talking about, which sounds so
Mm,
cliche, but it's just work on yourself, you know? And don't avoid feeling what you're going through because that's the worst,
yeah,
you know?
facts.
Just don't avoid it because it'll
Rekindle.
hit you. It'll
Yeah.
hit you, And just go to the gym, read, start a new hobby, go to school. I don't know, just start, focusing on yourself and it'll get better. And then just reach out for help. Reach out to your friends. I've been very blessed to have amazing best friends that were there for me, and are there for me, during the hard times. And that's it.
I like it. To add on that, I'm just give you the same answer and more. Don't be afraid. If you're a male, do not, especially if you have a good circle of friends, don't shy away from asking for help. Definitely ask for it. You'd be surprised what a good group session can do. Keep yourself busy. Make sure you leave time to still think about it because, like you said, don't let it resurface at a bad time when you're in a new relationship because it'll just be very chaotic and you shouldn't give your bad fucking experience into this new experience because it's just not fair. Because now that person's competing for you and to fix you, and that's not, you know, some people are okay signing up for that, but I don't think that that makes any sense. Like if I were to go start a new relationship with a new person, I don't think I owe them the baggage of my prior relationship because it's just not fair to them. It's not a playing field
Right.
that they're equal to. There's like they're always going to be working against that other ghost that's not even there anymore.
Right.
And who can make that ghost go away? It's by working on yourself. So I 100% agree with her. And yeah,
Y-
just don't be afraid.
yeah, you know what's funny? I just realized that, we basically just spoke about heartbreak or breakups, and choosing is not just that, like choosing,
Go on. What do you mean?
like some people just stay the same because they're afraid to choose other things.
I like that.
So
Yeah,
it's like, choose that job, choose taking that risk to move away, choose to eat by yourself or go to the movies by yourself, choose to get on the dating app and finding someone, or choose not to and go to the bar and see if you find someone, or choose to finally go to the library, or
I agree with that.
choices.
Some choices are hard,
Yeah.
and then when you make the choice, you get mad at yourself because it gets worse. It's supposed to get worse because you were comfortable. And when you make the choice, it's getting it out of that comfortability, and then it comes with the not knowing, the unwelcoming feeling of
Mm.
being alone. And in all honesty, some of you motherfuckers need to be alone. Like some of you motherfuckers need to heal and really sit down and get some help. But
Well, special, yes, because hurt people.
yeah, that's how fuckboys get invented.
Yeah, and then they'll hurt someone, and then
Mhm.
the hurt just
Yeah, and then they
goes all
continue doing
around.
it. They don't want to.
And when you're not changing, you're choosing.
Oh, I like that. That was good. I think we should end it with that so we can get to you to Jorge Lopez.
Okay.
All right. Thank you, everyone, for listening. Thank you again for coming.
Of
It was
course.
a great
Thank you for
time.
having me.
Yes, absolutely. I have to go.